My name's Lavet Mulanji. I stay in Kasokomona village. We are under Kasisi camp project, in fact, whereby Kasisi project has put some sections which we call camps. So we are in a different camp which is called Chainda camp. Personally, looking at Kasisi the way I started with it, I have a lot of experiences within a short course of time because I was not in a full force of doing this program called Organic Project until when I learned it from somewhere else. My neighbors, especially like Mr. Lupia Alex, is the one who kept on encouraging me to say, can you join this? Then, lucky enough, I was also interested in how he was doing things, especially on agroforest and beekeeping. And from the year when I attended one of his field days, well, I got encouraged about it. So when I joined now Kasisi, and also Kasisi came in full force, then we had to organize a group of women and men there, including youth. So that's how we started this project. But on my side, with Kasisi itself, it has helped me a lot in terms of farming, because I was as if I'm a new person in farming, though I was born a farmer. But with the new method that is coming on board, I learned something from Kasisi Agriculture Training Center.
Okay, so what has been your experience of climate change?
Looking at the climate change, personally, maybe the community at large, it has affected us in terms of the amount of rainfall, the pattern that we are having nowadays, or maybe the seasons are changing day and night. You find that we have no much rains. So when you don't have much rains, you expect to have a reduction in the food production. So climate change has affected us in the way that we had to use some different methods to adapt to it, because when climate change comes, people have to be forced, you want or not, you have to join so that you get adapted to the situation maybe, or the seasons that you are in. Yes.
Okay. So how has it really affected you? Like, is there like certain things that you can point at in terms of like how you've been affected?
Yeah, to just mention but a few, you find that I've talked about food itself. You find if you were having a bigger portion and you've got a little bit of some rains, you have to make a reduction in any crop, maybe the size, and also to look for a crop that can mature early before time or before the season ends. So we have ventured into soybeans, that is early maturity, and also maize, early maturity maize, because the space of the rains, it is not a very longer period as it was before. So that is how we've been doing it in terms of the crops and the varieties. Then in that way, we had to venture into a new system which we call agroecology, which is now trying to help us, as we learned from other farmers. Maybe we saw that it's a good thing, because in agroecology, we have about 3 major categories, or maybe 3 areas that we look at. You have to look at the soil, how to maintain your soil, how are you going to maintain the rainfall pattern, or maybe the rains that you have received so far, and also on the pesticides, how to control these insects that may damage your crops. So in these areas, we find that with Kasisi's help, or maybe with the help from Kasisi, they have taught us how to make your soil to be so rich so that you have a better yield, which we call Bokash style. People may not understand what is Bokash. Maybe it's a French name or maybe a Latin name, but it's a name that we have just adapted. We've just picked it from that and we said, okay, what do you do in Bokash? There are many components, maybe elements that are found when doing that stuff. So when you apply Bokash as your base of dressing, which may be one of the days we may explain what are the elements that are involved in Bokash making, we'll try to come upon that, and so that the community, maybe the nation at large, those who are able to cope up from the news, from the media, they are able to do that. Then we were taught also how to make also solid fertilizers, liquid fertilizers, which we call now biofertilizers in general. So that is how we've adapted to the climate change that has come in.
Okay.
Yes.
No, thank you so much, Mr. Mulanji.
You're welcome.